Welcome to The Explainer. So today, we're deconstructing one of the most common and honestly, one of the most misunderstood human experiences, anxiety. We're going to explore what it is, how it actually works in your brain, and most importantly, we're going to reframe it. What if anxiety isn't the problem at all, but a signal that's pointing to something much, much deeper? Okay, let's just dive right in with a question that really gets to the heart of the matter. We're so used to thinking of anxiety as this bad thing, something we need to crush or eliminate. But what if that's not its purpose? What if it actually evolved to help us? Now, this might sound a little weird, but our performance, I'm talking about giving a speech, taking an exam, anything, is actually at its absolute best with a moderate amount of anxiety. It's a principle called the Yerkes-Dodson curve. See, with too little anxiety, you're just not motivated. But with too much, you're completely overwhelmed. That little spot right in the middle, that's the sweet spot. That's where anxiety actually becomes a really powerful tool for focus. So, if a little anxiety can be a good thing, what is actually happening up in our brains when we feel it? Well, to get that, we need a simple model of the brain's alarm system. Think of it like this. You've got two key players. First, there's the amygdala. Let's call it the smoke detector. It's primal, it's not very smart, but man, is it fast. It's just constantly scanning and asking one question: am I in immediate danger? And then you've got the prefrontal cortex, which is like the watchtower. This is the slower, more logical thinking part of the brain that's always looking to the future, generating all those lovely what-if scenarios. Okay, so let's see how this system works in practice. First up, fear. Fear is a bottom-up process. It starts with that smoke detector. You see a snake, the alarm goes off, and your body instantly kicks into fight, flight, or freeze. The thinking brain, the watchtower, only catches up later. It is all about an immediate, present threat. Anxiety, though, is different. It's mostly a top-down process. It starts in the watchtower. This isn't about the snake at your feet. It's about the possibility of a snake somewhere up on the trail ahead. The watchtower's constant what-ifs send this slow, steady drip of warning signals that keep the smoke detector and your whole body on this low-grade, constant alert. So then, what's worry? Well, worry is just the script. It's the cognitive part of anxiety, just the what-if thoughts themselves, kind of floating around in your head, before they really trigger that full-body feeling of dread. And finally, there's panic. This is when the whole system just goes into absolute overdrive. It's an overwhelming false alarm, a sudden, intense wave of fear with really powerful physical symptoms that peaks within just a few minutes. It's the smoke detector blasting at full volume even when there's no actual fire. Okay, so now that we've got the vocabulary down, we can get to the core idea of this entire explainer. And this is the reframe that can honestly change how you approach anxiety completely. It all kicks off with this simple question. We talk about anxiety like it's this one single thing, like it's a disease we need to cure. But what if that's just fundamentally wrong? And here it is. This is the big reframe. Anxiety is rarely the problem itself. It's a symptom. You got to think of it like a warning light on your car's dashboard. It's just telling you that something deeper needs your attention. Now, to understand that signal, we have to first distinguish between two kinds of anxiety. Think of it like climate versus weather. Trait anxiety is your climate. It's your baseline, your natural tendency to be anxious. But state anxiety, that's the weather. It's your temporary, anxious response to a very specific thing happening right now. Here's another really powerful way to think about it. Anxiety often isn't a primary emotion, like, say, pure fear or anger. It's more like an emotional fruit salad. It's not one single fruit, but a complex mix of other feelings that we haven't dealt with. That general feeling of anxiety could actually be unprocessed anger, or sadness, loneliness, or even some unexpressed desire. So if anxiety is a signal, our job isn't to just silence the alarm. Our job is to find the fire. And this has huge implications for how we diagnose and treat it. And this is a really common pitfall. A clinician might see high levels of general anxiety and just slap on the generalized anxiety disorder or GAD label. But so often what's happening is they're just diagnosing the signal, not the underlying condition that's actually causing the alarm to go off in the first place. I mean, look at all the different things that can show up looking like anxiety. It can be a huge part of untreated bipolar disorder, depression, trauma, even just difficult relationship conflicts or living in an abusive situation. And this gets to the absolute heart of the matter. Where the anxiety is coming from changes everything. Treating anxiety that stems from PTSD is a completely different ballgame than treating anxiety that comes from a personality trait. So, what does a better path forward actually look like? Well, it means creating a treatment plan that targets the source of the anxiety, not just the feeling itself. This tailored approach means matching the right tool to the right problem. So, for example, for someone with really high trait anxiety, what you might call GAD proper, a biological approach with medication paired with therapy can be really effective. But for panic, which is this feedback loop of fearing the fear itself, exposure therapy is the #1 treatment. And then, when anxiety is rooted in relationship issues, well, medication is often totally ineffective. The real work there is in uncovering those hidden emotions. So, after everything we've looked at, from the brain's watchtower to the emotional fruit salad, it all comes down to this one single powerful idea. The goal is not to silence the alarm. It's to find the fire. That's the whole shift. It's about getting curious, about following that signal all the way back to its source, and then dealing with what's actually wrong. And that leaves us with a final question to take away with you. Instead of always asking, how do I get rid of this feeling? Maybe the better question is this: what signal is my anxiety trying to send me?